Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Hey, docs, welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, and today I'm bringing you a solo episode, really titled The High Achiever's Dilemma, and we're going to dive into a bunch of different topics into that, and also dive into a little bit of an opportunity that could be there for you, and we'll get to that. Before we do, I just want to go through a little bit of housekeeping. I don't do this too often on the podcast. I used to for a couple years, which I actually got a lot of good feedback on it, but we're going to dive into just a few things. One is I'm back into full-time patient care. Yeah, it wasn't planned that way, but as I've learned over the years, you always want to make sure you have two paths, right? You always have the one path you set out for, but then know that there could be a second one and plan that one out as well. And I'm very confident over the years of doing that no matter what path I end up down, it will work out. It just looks a little bit differently, but have that there. And that kind of stems from a great resource that I want you to check out from Tim Ferriss. It's a TED talk that he did some years ago, and I've used this. I've posted it in our Facebook group, Modern Chiropractic Marketing. I've given it to some of my coaching clients who are going through big transformations, or they want to really tackle something like I did over the last couple of years with exiting patient care, and that is the topic of fear setting that he talks about. And it's a great little TED talk. He even has, you could Google and find some resources he has on it. But that's essentially what I did before I exited patient care. And one of the hallmarks of fear setting is, answering the question, what's the worst that could happen, and having a plan for that. And so obviously when I exited patient care, I asked that question, and the answer in the path was I just get back into full-time patient care, right? No big deal. And it's so it was always something that I was fully prepared for. But with associate relocations that happened, and I just didn't want to rush trying to hire a new chiropractor right away, and have my patient base go through that. So hopped back into care, going really good. 3 weeks into it, actually. Another little bit of a coaching tip, it's interesting. I haven't been in full-time patient care since pre-pandemic. So 2019 would have been my last full year of full-time patient care, Monday through Friday. And, I've gotten back into it very intentionally with a lot of the stuff I coach clients on with communication and treatment planning, and making sure that all the little things are being taken care of, and, stepping back into the trenches. Definitely noticed some things were not being done fully, and certain things of that nature. And so I've been very intentional with that. And we've had quite an uptick in office visits the last few weeks, which has been nice. Summer's usually our slow season. It's not been slow, and I wasn't planning for that. I thought it'd be a little slower and I'd have more time to get things done. So I'm, getting it done during off hours, which has been good. So always know that when you take on something that's challenging or transformational in your career, is think about that fear setting, watch that, have two paths, feel confident in each of those paths, and you'll be fine. A couple other things we're doing right in the midst of this is we've finally changed our electronic medical records, and that went smooth. We officially launched it July 1st. And going good. We've had that. That's been nice. We had our on-site team training for our front desk with the Scheduling Institute, and that's been really good as well. So everybody's kind of firing on all cylinders, which has been good. And over the past year, one of the questions I've been getting is how am I doing both with MCM and HealthFit? And the reality of it is the past year with MCM, there's been a lot of iterations. There's definitely been challenges in how we've transformed into coaching, and we do the marketing for you now. But with all that, we've got a great team around us now. Everybody's firing on all cylinders there. And over the last few months, we've gotten it really running well. And I have a lot of people to thank for that. And at some podcast episode, I will do that. But it's been just really good. Obviously, Becky's been a huge part of that for us in making sure that operations are running good with MCM. And I'm still doing my thing with the podcast, doing my thing with group coaching, helping out clients as much as I can. It hasn't been any issue with that. I've got morning, I get up at 5 a.m. I got lunchtime. I'm just getting a lot done, which I guess the saying goes is if you want something done, find a busy person to do it. And that's where I'm at right now. So been really good. And ultimately, excited to take this next step with both HealthFit and MCM. And I'm not holding back on that. And that's where I kind of roll into today's podcast topic with this kind of high achievers dilemma. And one of the things that I, ultimately have been trying to do over the last 10 years is get in better rooms, right? Like I want to get in bigger rooms. I want to make sure that I've got the ambition and I've got the people around me to support that. And my journey on that really, I guess, starts with reading a book. And this book is become a cliche in a lot of ways, but it's the growth mindset, right? Carol Dweck, but that growth first fixed mindset. And I'm not going to dive too much into that. But the way they define it is someone with a growth mindset views intelligence, abilities, and talents as a learnable and capable of improvement through effort. On the other hand, someone with a fixed mindset views those same traits as inherently stable and unchangeable over time. And that's been instrumental in me because I wouldn't say early on in my teen years and at Florida State University or chiropractic school, like didn't feel like definitely wasn't the smartest guy in the room. Didn't feel like I was the most charismatic in the room. Didn't see myself coaching other chiropractors and stuff like that. But I'll give myself credit and always try to maintain a level of growth mindset. And my journey in that actually started out with landmark education. I'm not sure if you've heard that. I'm not necessarily recommending that for everybody. It can be a little bit intense for sure. They have like the Landmark Forum, and I went through a lot of their programming. But it was really, it was good. It just, ultimately, sometimes I feel like you can go to church, but not have to be the preacher, right? And with Landmark, they kind of want you to really be preaching it a lot and getting out there in the community and growing that. And I just, was really didn't want to do that and was kind of too busy with trying to grow my own practice. Because I think I started in Landmark Education in 2012. And then roll around to very early 2013, I'm actually sitting in a Landmark Education, I think it was the second forum, and I was sitting next to this guy, probably 55 years old, a successful business person, and we were getting to chat, and we were talking about business, and he's like, if you like stuff like, growth, business growth, personal development, and you want more of a business slant on it, he's like, you got to check out Strategic Coach. And so sure enough, I did. That would have been early 2013. I didn't pull the trigger on it until probably August of 2013. And I think I started in October of 2013. And so that really was that next step in my journey of growing, right? And growing professionally and personally. And I think if you listen to this podcast enough or anything that I do, I talk a lot about Strategic Coach, and I'm still 10 years later, a member of them. And it's just it's my operating system for being an entrepreneur, right? And then, ultimately 2015, I attended a marketing mastermind out in California for a year, and it was actually very good. It had a couple holes in it. They did it one year and that was it, but met some good people, learned a lot of good things. And that was getting myself in a bigger room than I was used to at the time, which was really nice. And it helped me grow from a marketing perspective. And honestly, I had probably really dove into the marketing stuff in 2014, which was why I joined this mastermind in 2015. And then it kind of gave me a lot of confidence to start the closed Facebook group, Modern Chiropractic Marketing, which has obviously spawned a full business now that frankly is bigger than our private practice. And so, getting into these types of rooms, you never know what could happen, like a strategic byproduct of it. And that was a very good mastermind. I would say it 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 didn't do as good of a job with some of the structure and ultimately relationship building aspect, but overall, I give it a lot of credit. And that kind of leads me into 2021. It was about this time of 2021, and I just kind of launched the idea of the Florida Mastermind for 2022, and we had 14 chiropractors commit, or high level chiropractors commit to that, and that was pretty pretty impressive on their part to take a chance on me and take a chance on the group to do that because it was something new, and ultimately it went really good. 2022 was just awesome with the mastermind to the point where every one of those original 14 members signed up for 2022. 2022 was the the first group, and now 2023 we have the 22 members. So we have 22 members right now in 2023. We kept it in Florida as well. I didn't even have to promote 2024 because we had some people reach out to me that wanted to join. We had some referrals within the group. Everybody came back again. And so we're at the 25 members on now what I'm calling the East cohort because we're taking it out of Florida in 2024. We are doing the first weekend in Jupiter, Florida with Brett Winchester. We've got to keep it in Florida for the wintertime. But then we're going to Nashville, then we're going to Chicago in the summer, and then Austin, Texas, towards the end of the year in 2024. And so that group has been filled. We're excited about that group. It's been just amazing transformations within that group. And it just made me realize that we needed another group, and we needed another group on the other half of the country because I would say everybody except for maybe, I think we have one person, Ryan Wigness at Whitefish, Montana. Everybody else is more in the center all the way to the east of the country because obviously it's hard to get, it was hard to get to Florida from Pacific Northwest and California and the mountains and all that type of stuff. So even though we're taking the east group out of Florida and we got a couple centrally located areas, we are maxed out because the thing is I don't want this to go from a mastermind to a workshop or to a seminar, right? Like, so for instance, Strategic Coach, they call them workshops, and there's usually 50 plus people in there. Great dynamic for sure. But the essence of what a mastermind really is, because you'll hear the term mastermind and people call things masterminds that really aren't. But I'm not the didactic lecturer each time for this. It's not about me. It's not me having a workshop or seminar for chiropractors. It's literally a group of 25 individuals that are working together because everybody has got amazing amounts of wisdom and experience and ideas. And so it's truly a mastermind. And we polled the group and said we're going to keep it at between 20 and 25 members to maintain that. And so since we've filled it up and that's sold out, we've launched a West cohort, I'll call it. And it's really the you can be from wherever, like you can live in North Carolina and come to the West Coast if you'd like to, but we're going to keep the locations in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. And so we've launched that in 2024. I haven't really promoted it on the podcast yet. This is kind of my first time doing it. And this kind of is that 85% PBS, 15% QVC that we talk about where, I try to give you a ton of information on this podcast, but every so often there's going to be a little bit of QVC in there, right? A little bit of selling or promoting. And so with today, I want to give some of you high achievers out there or ones that are looking to have a group to really keep growing an opportunity here. So we've launched the 2024 Mastermind. We already have 9 people that have signed up, which is a better pace than back in 2021 when I launched the first one. So I feel really good about that. We needed to kind of a minimum to really make it make sense, and to get 9 out of the gates was really nice. And so we're excited about that. What we're going to do is 4 weekends again. We've got Phoenix, Arizona, February 9th and 10th with Jay Greenstein, and that's going to be on leadership and team development. I really wanted to have him come back for this first one because he did the first one in 2022 for us, and it really set the tone on leadership and team development. Again, so that's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. Then we're going to be in Denver, Colorado with Miles Bosden of Cash Practice, and really going to be focusing on the optimizing the patient experience. I had him on my podcast. I highly recommend listening to an episode. He just knows so much about the patient experience, the psychology of it, not trying to trick them in any way, but just making them feel like they're having a great experience because they are having a great experience in your practice. And we're going to dive into how to do that May 10th and 11th in Denver, Colorado. The third weekend is going to be in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I'm excited about that. That's going to be with me, and we're going to dive into comprehensive marketing strategy. I'm actually presenting in a few weeks to our Naples weekend here for our 2023 group on this same topic. We're going to dive really into marketing. And so we'll leave that weekend with a comprehensive approach to that. And then lastly, we'll be in San Diego, California, November 8th and 9th. And again, I'll have a link to this and all the information. And that's with Krista and Kurt Kippenberger. And we're going to be doing vision casting. They have been doing this for themselves in their practice for some years now, and they've developed a program around it, how to create a crystal clear vision for not only your practice, but for you and your family and your just your entire life. And so I'm excited about that. That'll be great. It'll be in November of 2024. So that'll really help you roll into 2025 with a crystal clear vision on that. And so that's the mastermind. There's a lot of specifics of it. We do require to have a clinic revenue of $350,000 a year. I'll give you a little bit of caveat to that. We've had a couple members in our past group that were close to it, like kind of like we just need to tip it over there. They're a solo practitioner. They're rocking it. They may not be at say 30,000 a month in collections, but they're damn near close to it, or they just need a little bit of nudge. And what we found was that same person has so much good information and ideas and strategies and has been helping out some of our members that got $2 million practice, because we do have some of those in our mastermind. And so we've got everybody from that 350 up to into the low millions. And so it's been a great group because the idea sharing for someone that's been practicing for 25 years, they need to hear it from someone that's been out for 7 years or something like that, right? And so, but we do want to have a baseline there because honestly, I don't, we're trying to make it a group where everybody values it and honestly isn't just trying to figure it out, like really struggling or has cash flow issues or needs to have a little bit more building blocks to get to this aspect. And we, at MCM, we have other programs, whether it's the Chiropractic Success Academy or our MCM Mastery program, where we can help you get those building blocks so that you can at some point qualify for the mastermind. But we do have that requirement in there. You do need to attend all 4 weekends. We do know some things pop up last minute, and that happens. We had someone get COVID in 2022, and there's the things that happen. But you got to commit to all 4. We do have a handful of kind of industry transformers like a Mark King or a Jay Greenside or a Brett Winchester that'll kind of pop in on some weekends because they're traveling like 25, 30 times a year doing their thing, helping out the profession. So we've made some, as a group, again, I try not to make any unilateral decisions that aren't essential stuff. There's definitely things I have to make decisions on, but I try to get the group think as much as possible. And that was something that we agreed upon as well. So we do have occasional industry transformers dropping in and lending their wisdom for that as well. So it's been really good, right? And I just think that you got to start considering getting in bigger rooms. When I started getting into bigger rooms and pushing myself, it's where I really grew. And I understand that, there's a financial and time commitment to the mastermind. It is $8,000 a year. We have payment plan over every few months to break it up, make it easier. We do offer discount if you pay in full. We do offer a partnership discount. So if you're, 2 partners in a practice and you both want to attend, it's $12,000 instead of the $16,000. So we have some ways of making it a little bit more digestible. But it's a first-rate experience, and I reinvest a lot of that into the experience, right? We have group dinners that we pay for. We have lunches and breakfasts and that are served. We do a group activity on a Saturday afternoon, and so one of the things that we've done a great job with is trying to reinvest back into the group to make it a great experience. So that's why there is that level of fee to get into it. But I can tell you, the group that joined in 2022, some of them had some concerns with it, but they re-upped and they re-upped again, and they've talked about how it's been one of the best ROIs that they have done in their practice, and they honestly are surprised by how much of the ROI it's had for them. And so I want to actually just share a little bit of an audio of some of our members in the East cohort from this year explaining that to you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Warren Kelstein.
I'm Jeff Kelstein.
I'm Jerry Mitchell.
Ali Bettis. I'm Lindsay Muma.
My name is Dr. Anthony Hussein.
I practice in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Bethesda, Maryland.
Small town, Missouri.
MCM with Kevin Christie in the group. I'm really grateful to be here.
The thing that we have in common here is that we all want to serve our patients better. We all want to be better at running our practices. We all want to level up in some way.
This group covers this topic very well, and then they move to a different topic very well. And it's all about learning, and they just nail these areas.
We can learn something from any person that we interact with, and I think there are so many people who are here that I'm really grateful to learn from that I would never have been introduced to outside of the mastermind.
I use this weekend to be around a bunch of people who understand parts of my world that most of the people in my life don't understand. And so having the ability to bounce ideas off of other docs who have gotten to the same place that you're at but took a different path. For me, like I told Kevin, I love the speakers that he brings, but I come because of the people that are here. Because every single time I come, I get something that's valuable to implement at the clinic.
This is a great way to learn, I think, no matter where you are in practice, whether you're way further down the line or just starting out, it's still really helpful and you're just constantly learning new things.
It is the people that drives me to be down here. To have access to people's winnings and their failures, and getting advice and mentorship as it relates to that is invaluable. It's already been really great for me in the last year and a half being a part of Kevin's group.
And I would say that the investment pays itself back 10 times, tenfold, right? It's an investment into yourself, and it's the best investment you can make because it's going to come back to you 10 times over.
And really trusting this group in your opportunities and your obstacles. Cheers.
All right, so I hope that gives you a little bit of insights on the level of ROI and just transformational experience that our members are getting in, because it's not just didactic lecturing, it's not just business, it's not just professional development. It is those things, but it's also transformational relationships. It's not being stuck on an island anymore. It's having other high achievers that are there and that you can share a struggle with. Because one of the things that happens when you become a certain level, like you don't have friends and family members that are entrepreneurs or business owners, and it's hard to really share the struggle with them. Or maybe you're not comfortable sharing it with some people outside of maybe your significant other. We've had some of the highest achieving chiropractors in our group share really big struggles, and we've got that level of trust in each other to have those conversations. And so that's what has been really cool is not only learning and growing and applying strategies to your business to grow it even more, but to have a sounding board and not be on that island anymore. And so the mastermind's done that in spades, which I've been super excited about. And I just want to leave you with this. I want you to start realizing, like, we know the clinical side of things is just so important. I'm going to assume that if you listen to this podcast and you're working at your craft clinically, that you're a good chiropractor. We could always be better, right? Like if you're in year 3 or 5 or 7 right now, you're going to be better in year 10, 15, and 20. We could always keep getting better. But it doesn't mean you can't concurrently get even better as a leader, as a communicator, as a business owner, as in marketing, in delegating, right? And those are all the things that we're sharpening the saw in with this mastermind. That's why I picked those particular topics, because we're trying to get even better at that. While you can currently keep on honing your craft as a clinician, but you should be and you can be doing both of those. And that's why we've launched this mastermind. And that's what our goal in general, like our massive transformative purpose here at MCM is to get chiropractors realizing that concurrently to your clinical training, you need to be doing the things to have a thriving practice, because that benefits everybody. And I have the utmost confidence in our mastermind design and setup. And I'm really excited about the 9 members of the West cohort that we have right now already. Great minds, great practices, and I would really welcome an opportunity for you to join us. We will cap it at 25, and we expect to be getting into that range. And so if you're interested, reach out to me. If you need a conversation, that's fine as well. Go to www.modernchiropracticmarketing.com, our website. You'll see the mastermind tab on the top. You'll see a few on there, and click on the 2024 West. Again, the 2024 East is sold out. Click on the 2024 West. Look at the information. If you qualify and you just want to sign up, you can right there. If you want to reach out and contact me and have a conversation around it, we can do that as well. Check that out. I highly recommend it. And just put a lot of consideration into it. It's really been something that I'm taking a lot of pride in, that the group has trusted me in developing it. And ultimately the members have made what it is, not me. And that's what we're trying to accomplish in the West cohort. So give that a look. Hope you'll consider it if you qualify for it, and reach out to me if you have any questions, and we're here to help you out. So check that out. Have a great week in practice. And next week we have another great interview with one of our experts, and excited to bring that to you. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.